you've been doing a Superman exercise for back strength, it's time to stop.
Well, and we're going to actually explain why it's potentially dangerous, as well as give you an option that is from the expert in the field, and we'll tell you that in just a moment. I'm Brad.
I'm Mike, and behind the scenes we have Bob, and together we're the most famous physical therapy team on the internet.
That's right, in our opinion, of course.
Yeah, in our opinion.
There you go. All right, let's get on with the program.
So, when we're talking about the Superman exercise, Dr. Stuart McGill, who's a back pain expert, does not recommend doing it. And Brad, can you show what happens in the spine when we're doing this?
Well, let's talk about the Superman exercise and why people do want to do it. It's to strengthen the back muscles, which they're really working hard going to town. And it's true, it's a good exercise for the muscles. But what happens if you look at the spine while you lay in a relaxed position? It's neutral. Now go ahead and go up in the Superman and look what happens. The back or the spine arches, just like right here. And at that point, you want to hold it there, Mike?
I'm holding it. What do you else?
You can relax. You can relax. So now we know that. But what's the problem with putting that in there when those muscles are at maximal contraction?
Well, we can start getting some back pain or some issues here. You're having a lot of compression and extension, especially if you have back pain already.
Right. And if you read Stuart McGill's works, he goes into detail of the studies on how much pressure actually goes into the spine at that location. We're not going to bore you with that, but you can look in his book. Now, what are the options, or what else can we do, or do we have some other stuff to cover, Mike?
So first we want to talk about that poor spine. Save some back pain tips here before we get into the strengthening exercises you want to do, especially if you're having back pain.
Good thing.
So tip number 1 is avoid over-sitting. Now that just means sitting too much. Typically you have the most amount of pressure on your spine in the seated position. You have less when you're standing because your legs are weight-bearing, and you have even less when you're laying down on your back flat because there's not as much gravity pulling down on your spine.
Particularly when you sit with poor posture, which, to be honest with you, many people do. It's just part of the deal.
So if you are stuck at a computer or you're on a long car ride, take frequent breaks and get off from a sitting position. It can help your back pain. Tip number 2 goes exactly with this, is stay active. Walking and movement throughout the day is actually beneficial for your spine.
That's right. Whether you go for a dedicated walk or just get up in the office or at home and walk around every 20 minutes or so is much better than a consistent static seated position. I ran out of breath.
I guess. Tip number 3 is to maintain a neutral spine as often as you can. Neutral spine, we mean when you're standing with good posture or seated. We don't want to be too flexed over like this, which happens when you're looking at your phone or working on your computer. And you don't want to be too extended like this either. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're doing overhead work.
Well,
who extends too much?
You never do any work, but yeah, if you're washing the windows, working on the ceiling, whatever.
I don't do a lot of overhead work, no. And tip number 4 is just some gentle range of motion throughout your spine is actually beneficial. You just don't want to go to the extreme ends. So something you can kind of do is called
Are we going to show them right now? Or?
We can show them right now. One is the cat-cow, so it's...
Some people call this the camel horse or something like that. But
Cat-camel?
Yeah, that's it.
So you just get on all fours and you just kind of, this is the cat position. It's like a cat that's mad. And then you go into the other position where your butt goes up and your spine goes the opposite direction. Just go what's pain-free, but this is some gentle motion you can do in your spine.
Can you show the neutral position? About right in the middle, so we get there versus extreme this way or rounded. All right.
So that's one option. And another thing you can do is actually stretch out your hip flexor muscles, because on some people they get so tight they actually cause your pelvis to turn, which affects your low back.
Right. Hyperextends the low back, tilts it this way, and that's it's no good.
So just doing some hip flexor stretching can be beneficial. Do you think we should show one? So you can lay off the edge of the mat or a firm table. This one is usually beneficial because people with back pain can get in these positions okay, and it won't hurt their back more. So if I get my buttock towards the edge, I have both knees to chest, I drop one down, so I'm stretching my left side, bend the knee, and bring this one back up, and we're getting a hip flexor stretch here. Having a nice flat surface like this keeps my back good and safe position, so I'm in a neutral spine right now.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say, and people might say, well, I'm at work. I can't get out on a table or bed and do this. I'll give an option that you can do while seated so that can be done throughout the day without interrupting. In your chair, you turn sideways so that one hip is, the buttock is actually off the chair. Best with an armrest and a firm chair. And let this go down. We'll see if we can get a camera close to this. And simply stay up tall. And here, right there, I'm feeling it stretch, and I pull that knee back like this. And if I arch back a little bit more, we get a better stretch yet. Work that a little bit, make naturally both sides, and do that every hour or so.
You can hold it for 15, 30 seconds and just kind of stretch
Oh,
them
he's
out.
still going on with that complicated
See if that
stretch.
helps. Anyways, now on to Stuart McGill's Big 3. These are his recommendations for strengthening your core, which involves your abdominal muscles, your hip muscles, as well as your back muscles. And most of these are pretty safe for most people, and they won't exacerbate any back pain you may be having.
Yeah, these are nice exercises, very complete for the core.
So the first one's going to focus on the abdominals. It's called the McGill curl up. So you're going to have to lie on
We
something
always lie
flat.
down.
If you can get on the floor, go to the floor. If you can't, you can do it on the bed. It's just going to be a little squishy. So normally we're going to have one knee bent and the other straight. In this position, we're going to do sort of a crunch, but most crunches, we round the spine, we look up like this. This is flexing. It doesn't feel good if you have back pain. So instead, we're going to bring our chin towards the ceiling and just lift our shoulder blades off the mat. And I'm not going to curl. Nice neutral position. Go up and then back down. And you just curl up a little bit, hold, back down. I'm feeling a workout here. It looks simple, but it does work if you go slow.
Can you go like this? This is what I do. I go like this, and I actually put one of my fists underneath my chin that forces me so I can't look and flex my neck.
I feel like I'm punching myself.
Well,
but I guess
yeah,
you can do it this way. Some people, if you feel good, you can put your hands behind your back.
There you go.
can do all sorts of things. You can get the foot activated. But this is just a nice core strengthening exercise that keeps your back in a good position.
All right, what about the side plank so we get the side muscles of the core? This is a really nice one most people do not do.
Yes, so what you're going to do is like a plank, but the side plank, you're on your side. Typically, people hold this 15 to 30 seconds. If you're strong and want to go longer, you certainly can. So what you want to do is stack your feet on top of each other, lift your pelvis off the ground, and try to keep it in a neutral position. A lot of people, if they're weak, they sag like this. Nice neutral position. You're going to hold this.
I think you're a little bit high. Go down a half. Perfect, right there.
You're going to hold this for 15, 30 seconds. And don't let anyone hit you with the stick. And then you're going to switch sides and do it on the other one like this. You're going to feel a lot of strengthening in your lateral side muscles here and lateral leg. If you're too weak to do this, you could start on your knees and just lift up like that.
There you go. Yeah, this would be the beginner. This is the way I do it. If I do it, I have some other options.
Does someone hit you with a stick?
Well, no, that hasn't happened lately. You know, I keep my wife away from the workout area when I'm doing these. What about the bird dog? This is one of my favorites.
The bird dog is surprisingly works your balance a lot because we've had some people in the clinic we've tried this with, and sometimes they get a little tippy on it. So
it's a win-win situation. Core strength plus balance.
So for beginners, you go on all fours like this. If you can't get on your hands and knees, you can do this standing next to a wall. So what you're going to do for beginners is just try to lift one arm up and then the opposite leg out. So what you want to do for the full exercise is opposite limbs going up at the same time. You hold it and then back down, and then you switch sides and you do roughly 10 on each side. Now it's hard to tell what your leg is doing behind you because you cannot see it. So a lot of people go way up high. You don't have to go that high. Just kind of go to a neutral position. You can film yourself or have someone yell at you if you're doing it wrong, like Brad would.
Well, I wouldn't yell. I would talk politely. One thing we really want to think about is before you start, get your back in a neutral position and be aware of that. Tighten up your stomach muscles and then do the exercise. So this area of the core really stays solid.
Make sure you're going opposite, because you try to do same side and keeping a neutral pelvis is pretty hard because I'm cheating now. So go opposite. Like
Did you
this.
talk about if this is too difficult? Because it will be too difficult for some people.
Then, yeah, so what I said before, just do one
Oh,
arm,
you said that. Sorry.
opposite leg, and just do one at a time like that. And just that way you
Good.
don't have to balance as much.
Yeah. And again, remember, for other people who don't feel comfortable with that, against the wall is really a nice option, and it still works the right muscles. So, oh, sorry, Danny, I'm throwing off the...
So those are the McGill Big 3. If you do want some strengthening for your core and back exercises that won't exacerbate any pain, I would stick to those and eventually build up the time and duration or reps with each of them.
Excellent. Nice video. Thank you.
I'm running out of breath now because I was working out.
What about the other video? You said you...
If you're still having some back pain and you think it's sciatica, where the pain actually goes down your buttock and your leg, you can click the video link on the screen.
Yeah. Only 1 in 5,000 know this.
And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Oh, did we forget to say that earlier?
Well, we just said it now.
Yeah, good enough. Thank you.
Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.